25,000 Russian soldiers rushed into Ukrainian Chasov and responded brutally. Skepticism about the claim that a Ukrainian missile hit a more than 100-year-old Russian ship. Two Malaysian Navy helicopters crashed into each other and plummeted to the ground. Thailand is ready to mediate for Myanmar. 25,000 Russian troops stormed Chasov Yar, Ukraine responded brutally. Nazar Voloshyn, spokesman for the strategic operational group Khortytsia, said that Ukrainian public television Spokesperson reported on April 22 that about 20 to 25,000 Russian soldiers are trying to attack Chasov Yar and other areas around. Facing us in the Chasov Yar area were Russian paratroopers from the 217th Guards Parachute Regiment of the 98th Guards Airborne Division, Voloshyn said. The Russian armed forces remained persistent in their efforts to take the town, despite losses in personnel and equipment, he said. Voloshyn said, the Russian army is not currently occupying the city. We maintain control. The situation around the town is difficult but is under control. Our defense forces are receiving reinforcements and strengthen the front line. Also, according to Mr. Voloshyn, Russia continuously systematically attacked Ukrainian positions but could not hold them and eventually had to retreat. Voloshyn added, they launch attacks without consolidating their positions. They rush in and then retreat. It is as if the enemy is conducting reconnaissance, identifying weak points to exploit. However, Ukrainian forces responded with devastating blows. Situation on the Donetsk front. The Russians are using tactics that have helped them capture Avdiivka in their push towards Chasov Yar, a city west of Bakhmut. The Institute for the Study of War reported on April 10 that the positions of Ukrainian defenders were being targeted by artillery and fire from Russian aircraft and helicopters. AFU Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky said on April 13 that the situation on the Eastern Front has deteriorated significantly in recent days. Surveillance portal Deep State reported that Russian troops had occupied the village of Bodanivka and were approaching Chasov Yar. However, the Ministry of Defense denied reports of Bodanivka's occupation. Russia's top military leader has tasked his soldiers with taking Chasov Yar before May 9. Russia is focusing its efforts on breaking through the defenses, moving towards the Seversky Donetsk, Donbass channel to create conditions for advancing deeper towards Kramatorsk, Syrsky announced on April 14. Ukrainian military officials have previously warned that if Chasov Yar falls under Russian control, an attack on Koshtantinivka, Drushkivka, Kramatorsk and Slavyansk is possible. Doubtful about Ukraine's claim of hitting a Russian ship over 100 years old. Satellite images show that the Russian communist ship in Crimea was not damaged, contrary to Ukraine's statement about the raid on this more than 100-year-old vehicle. On April 21, the Ukrainian Navy announced that it hit the rescue ship Kommuna of the Russian Black Sea Fleet anchored in the military port of Sevastopol in Crimea. This force said the communist ship was no longer suitable to perform its mission, but did not reveal the type of weapons used in the raid and did not announce details of related damage. However, commercial satellite images taken by Planet Labs on April 22, one day after the Ukrainian raid, did not show any clear signs of damage suffered by the Kommuna during the raid. Satellite photos taken on April 20 show the ship in the same location and in the same condition. Video appeared on social networks on April 21 showing a ship in the harbor in Sevastopol on fire. However, Plant Labs satellite images show that none of the vehicles parked on either side of the Kommuna had obvious burn marks or signs of fire damage. Satellite images show that the communist ship appears to have escaped serious damage in the raid last weekend, said TWZ editor Joseph Trevithick. The communist ship may have been hit by debris, but is still afloat and intact. The Kommuna is an iconic vessel with 109 years of service in the Black Sea Fleet. The ship was commissioned by the Russian Imperial Navy in 1915 with the name Fokhov, and participated in salvaging the American Holland-class submarine AG-15 and the Bars-class submarine Edinburgh in 1917. The Fokhov ship in 1922 was renamed Kommuna. During World War II, the ship participated in salvaging many types of sunken ships, aircraft, tanks and armor, and also provided supplies for submarines. During the Cold War, the Comuna was upgraded and modified many times to operate submersibles and remotely controlled underwater vehicles. After more than a century, the Comuna continues to perform rescue and salvage missions for submarines. With the ability to deploy submersibles or remotely controlled underwater vehicles, the Comuna can also participate in intelligence-gathering activities on the seabed and perform many other tasks. Damaging or destroying the Comuna would deprive the Russian Navy of the Black Sea Fleet of its unique underwater capabilities. In addition, sinking or seriously damaging the ship that survived 2 world wars like Comuna also brings media benefits to Ukraine, Trevithick said. 2 Malaysian Navy helicopters collided, plummeted to the ground, 10 people died. On April 23, 2 Malaysian Navy helicopters crashed during training at the Royal Malaysian Navy Stadium, TLDM, in Lumut Town, Perak State. According to the Star newspaper, video footage of the accident showed that one helicopter cut off the rotor of another helicopter, then both crashed to the ground. Reuters news agency quoted a statement from the Malaysian Navy saying that all 10 crew members on the 2 helicopters that crashed were killed. The accident occurred at around 9:30 a.m. local time, between a Fennec M502-6 and a HAM M503-3, according to Xinhua news agency. The HAM M503-3 fell down the stairs at the TLDM stadium, and the Fennec M502-6 fell into the swimming pool in the sports complex. Thailand wants to mediate peace for Myanmar. Thai officials affirmed that the country is ready to mediate negotiations between Myanmar's military government and rebel forces. Thailand's role is to try our best to support the resolution of conflicts in neighboring countries. The international community also expects us to take on this role, Prammin Lertsaridej, Chief of Office of the Thai Prime Minister, on April 22, commented on the conflict in Myanmar. He said Thailand is also ready to take on the role of mediator in negotiations between the Myanmar military government and rebel forces, restoring peace in the Mayawati area near the Thai border. Prammin said Thailand has not yet received a direct request from the Myanmar government or the rebels. However, he affirmed that the Thai Ministry of Foreign Affairs is discussing building a peaceful solution for the parties. He reaffirmed Thailand's common stance of calling for a peaceful solution between the parties and creating conditions for providing humanitarian aid to conflict areas. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Thailand Parnpree Bahiddinukara will represent Prime Minister Shretha Thavisin to inspect the border situation. Mr. Prammin affirmed that the government has prepared resources to handle the sudden increase in refugees from Myanmar entering Thailand, and is ready to adjust the refugee reception process depending on the situation. The Thai government has established a committee dedicated to the Myanmar conflict near the border, as fighting between the Myanmar army and ethnic minority rebels spread to Mayawati. Mr. Parnpree chairs the committee, with members including officials from the Thai Ministries of Defense, Foreign Affairs and Home Affairs. Bangkok also warned forces in Myanmar not to escalate the conflict and spread it to Thai territory. Padosa Tane, spokesman for the Karen National Union, KNU, rebel force, said on April 20 that the group was fighting with Myanmar government troops in the town of Mayawati, bordering Thailand. Fierce fighting between government troops and KNU forces broke out in this town earlier this month, forcing Myanmar forces to withdraw from the town. A Thai military unit stationed at the border between the two countries said on the same day that a force was attacking Myanmar soldiers hiding under the Friendship Bridge, connecting Mayawati with the Thai town of Mae Sot, but did not mention the name of the group. Armed. Myanmar government troops organized airstrikes in response, targeting a number of targets a few kilometers from the Thai border on the night of April 21. Rebel forces set fire to a number of government buildings, controlled immigration and customs headquarters on Thailand-Myanmar friendship bridges and blocked border posts. Thai media confirmed that a Myanmar Brigadier General, So Min That, died in battle near the border between the two countries and was taken to the hospital in Mae Sot. The governments of Thailand and Myanmar have not officially commented on this information.